A lot is happening right now. Everywhere is shaking right now because the trouble that they're looking for is finally here. It was few hours ago that they invited Rufai Oseni to speak in a particular big church in Nigeria here. And as Rufai Oseni mounted the podium, he shook the congregation and he exposed a lot regarding Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He blasted Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Rufai said this, and he have been saying it right from time. But come and see what is happening to Rufai now. Look at what they're doing to Rufai Oseni. They want Rufai to resign right now. Come and see what is going on. Yes, everybody know that it's not more the news, that it's not today that they have been monitoring Rufai Oseni of Arise TV. It has been a while that they've been monitoring him and they want him out of Arise News. They don't want him to be in Arise TV again. Arise TV is on fire right now. So Obedient, I would like us to stay connected to the end of this video. This must not stand. If you can share this video, ensure you share it. Share to different social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like it as you're watching it. Like it, give it a thumb up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. Obedient, stay connected. I'm coming back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG TV. For those of you coming across this channel for the very first time, ensure you click the registration button appearing on your video screen, and don't forget, endeavor to click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in pure time, YouTube will easily let you to know. A big thanks to all our returning subscribers. I really appreciate you guys for the back-to-back follow already giving us on LAJUPOG TV. Now the update I have for you today is not changing. It's still regarding what is happening in the political zone. A lot of things have been going on in the political zone. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is finally here again because Rufai Oseni is being forced to resign in Arise News right now. Come and see what is going on. There's a conspiration and a big plot against Rufai Oseni. And what did Rufai do? You know, it's not more the news that they have been looking for how do we get Rufai Oseni out of Arise News, because a lot of Nigerian politicians, they have been looking for ways to eradicate Rufai because it's their headache. It's their headache as far as Nigerian journalism is concerned. Rufai Oseni is the big problem that this political class are actually facing in Nigeria, because this man is well known and highly respected journalist and newscaster in Nigeria. He is well known and is being loved by a lot of people because he will always say the truth the way the truth is. When he wants to address issues, he will say the way it is. He will never sugarcoat anything. He will call a spade, unlike some other journalists across Nigeria. It is what they ask them to say, even when they know the truth. It is what they ask them to say that they're going to say. But the case of Rufai Oseni wasn't like that. A lot of Nigerian politicians will go to Arise News and they will conduct an interview for them. But Rufai Oseni will ask them intellectual questions that will bleak their buttocks out. The questions of Rufai Oseni will showcase their errors, will showcase their buttocks. It will shake their legs. Many of them couldn't answer Rufai Oseni questions, so they've been avoiding this guy even in interviews, and they've been trying to attend to his questions. But the more they try to cornermark the questions, the more it reveals a lot of secrets about them to the general public, because they will be on a live television program. You understand what I mean now? A lot is happening now. Now it was few days ago that they invited Rufai Oseni to the church for encore, a program, all of that. So they invited Rufai Oseni to make a speech, but according to what happened, Rufai was making the speech and he said some secret things regarding Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But come and see what has been happening since then. They want Rufai Oseni resign out of Arise News. Obedient, I'd like us to stay connected to the end of this video, because I'm going to play you the video of where Rufai was in church making the speech and all of that. You will hear everything yourself. So if you can share this video, ensure you share it. Share it to different social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like it, give it a thumb up so that YouTube will recommend it for us, so that we get to the last person. A lot of things is happening now. A lot of Nigerians are out there. They said, no, this must not stand. Their evil agenda must not stand, because if we should release a journalist like Rufai Oseni in Nigeria, how is it going to be? Because this guy have done a lot to the political class. He have revealed a lot of things, and he have opened the eyes of even the blind to see what is happening in Nigeria. You know, it is normally known that these people in the Aso Rock chamber, they are the causative agent of the problem that we're facing in Nigeria right now. They are the one that are borrowing money in the name of Nigeria Nigeria. They will borrow trillions of naira, and as at now, the loan of Nigeria, the money that Nigeria have borrowed, have extended to around 94 trillion naira. These are trillions of naira. Who is going to pay this money? Nigeria did not cultivate the habit of borrowing and refunding. They have never refunded the money, because once they borrow the money, they will never invest with the money. All they do is to spend the money on things that are not even relevant. They spend the money on consumption, and that is what Peter Obi have been complaining right from time. And that is what the same Peter Obi was trying to do if he should get into power any year, any day, and all of that. So that is what is happening. And you can see the economic crisis in Nigeria, and yet these politicians are in there. They are mafiaing Nigerian money without looking at the interest of the common man. They will never seek to the interest of the common man to which they claim that they are serving. But Rufai will not allow them to rest, because he will always hit the lane on the head. And the more he's hitting the lane, the more their secret is being exposed, and they will be losing their peace. And those are the major reasons why they want this guy out of Arise News. Now, a lot of people actually supported what Rufai Oseni said that is causing this problem now in Arise News. And some people said Rufai Oseni did well, and some people said Rufai Oseni is doing the wrong thing and all of that. You know, a lot of people actually supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but some people did not support Tinubu. Why some that supported them are already repenting? Because when he went to Lagos State, when his convoy was taking him to the mosque to do some religious rite and all of that, people were shouting, and Tinubu will be hearing it himself. They said, "Eben power, we are hungry, we are hungry." Those are the people of Tinubu that are putting their lives in the line. Those are part of the Agiros that were fighting for Tinubu, the thugs that came out back then in the election that were fighting for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, just for Tinubu to enter the power, because they believe that it's Yoruba's turn, that it is Yoruba that's supposed to be there. Now Yoruba is there, everybody is suffering for it, and it is the same Yoruba people now. I personally am a Yoruba person, but yet it is the same Yoruba people now that are shouting that Eben power in Lagos State, that we are hungry, we are hungry. Now come and see what is going on. They want Rufai out of there. Now stay connected to the end of this video to hear what Rufai said that is causing a lot of reactions that want them to cause Rufai to resign or be fired by Arise News, because they already given Arise an ultimatum. Just stay connected, you'll hear everything yourself. I'm coming back again.
Round of applause as he gets here. Thank you. Hi, everybody. But what do? We take internal giftings of others over the years and do what? Impose it. That's why when Le Chatelier in 1889 propounded Le Chatelier's principles, in 2019 we still teach what? Le Chatelier's principle. That's why in 2019 we still talk about Avogadro's law. In fact, we have a song, Avogadro's law, equal volumes of all masses at the same temperature and pressure contains the same number of. So what do? We take it and do what? Newton's third law of motion says action and reaction are what? What do? We take it and put it on the students. We have never asked that, what is your own law? For thermodynamics, for physics, what is your own law? And that has been teaching. So I'm a student of history. I speak in universities all over the world about history, Cambridge University, African antecedents and things like that. And when you see it, historically education is skewed to be able to teach propaganda. And I'll give you an instance. Go way back to 3 BC. Something happened. The Spartans had the first system of education with the Greek. The Spartans, because they fought a lot of war with Athens and some other areas, what did? They taught all their male borns to be military officers. So that's why you hear things about Spartan courage. The Greek had a more egalitarian society, but they were mostly philosophically inclined. So what happened? They started teaching philosophical aspects of education. All right, that's why you have things like the sophist movements. That's why you have things like patterns of theon. That's why you have schools of thoughts of Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, isn't it? So because that's where they were going in society, they were teaching that because that was what was ambivalent in society. That was the expression in society. When you move a little bit further to, and that continued pretty much for another about a couple of thousands of years, until the 1500s, the 12th to the 1500s, when we have what we call the Renaissance period. The Renaissance period, you had innovative thinkers coming out of places like Scotland. You had the likes of David Hume telling us that, no, it shouldn't be this way. You had the likes of other wonderful thinkers bringing out great ideas. So education changed, and it was formed about what? The Renaissance period. And that continued for quite a while. They still included philosophy, algebra, Latin. Everything was skewed towards what they were seeing. And that's why you see our early fathers that were educated in schools did Latin. I'm sure you did Latin. Or maybe it was way before your time. Latin was done in school in Nigeria, isn't it? So that was the order of the day. And that was the kind of education. And education over the years has been skewed according to what the government and the governance wants. That's why in early 1900, entrepreneurship was taken out of the curriculum in schools in America. Any country that wants to develop patterns its education according to its developmental strides. But it doesn't make it right. I'm always a challenger of norm anywhere I go in the world. It doesn't make it right. What we have is education handed down from us. Education that says we must speak English. Who says I must speak English? Ta ló sọ pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ sọ Ìgbò? Ta ló sọ pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ sọ Ìgbò láti là láyé? Who says it's English I must speak to break through? So, because I not speak big Oyibo, you they tell me say I not they civilized, Abi. But that's the kind of indoctrination they've given all of us. So I watched in the video intently when somebody was saying, and he said, you know what? I need to teach them how to speak English, like it's a curse not to be able to speak English. What if I grew up in China? I'm sure you know that long before English came into being, we had an Igbo language writing system that was there. Igbo Kwenu. We had an Igbo writing system. Long before they started writing English, Igbo words were written. There was Igbo numeracy. One of the oldest languages in the world. Do you know that the Chinese language has over 1,000 characters? So why are they telling you that if you can't interact in English, you have skewed education? You know why? Because the education we've been taught over the years doesn't bring innovation, and it's dogma. It tells you to remain in a certain place. It says if you don't speak good English, oh tabon. That's what it tells you. I'm not saying don't learn their language. Learn the language of the colonialists well, but don't be a colonial mindset. You need to emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can do what? Everybody, let's stand up and sing this together. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Say that again. Thank you. Please be seated. Just one stanza. Just one stanza. Because Because if we don't get this right, anything we say about education is a waste of time. How do we innovate when we don't even know what education is? How do we innovate when we don't know what education is? When the only education we know has been the dogma over the years. I spoke in Cambridge 2017, and I was made to understand that the dogma for education is so much that your graduation ceremony in Cambridge is still conducted in Latin. Go to Cambridge. I was in Cambridge. Your graduation ceremony is still conducted in Latin. The thing about Finland is this: your first degree and your master's degree are tied together. It's a 5-year program for you to be a teacher. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you the catch. If you're a primary school teacher, you're a primary school teacher for life in Finland. Yes. You don't have a right to take another job. If you're a primary school teacher, you're a primary school teacher for life. Why? Okay. Okay. One house. I love reactions. Can I explain something to you? Because let me tell you something. That's the most important part of teaching. And the most skill needed is at that point, at that formative years. But here, that's where we put ramshackle graduates that had a third class. You can see why things are not working. You can see why we're not innovating. Because it is serious business. Look, countries that have scaled and that have developed intellectually and have done a lot of good things are countries that have invested in education. And you see, it's very easy to rejig it. There's something called PISA. I don't know if you guys send students for that. There's a PISA rating system. It's a numeracy and reading written system all over the world. When you look at the PISA rating scores over the years, it shows you between the ages of 0 to 15, the numeracy capacity of every teacher, of every student around the world, tested across these countries. Mostly they are OECD countries, countries of, thriving economic status quo. And what PISA does is, it looks at numeracy, and when you look at the countries on PISA ratings, America ranks number 20 what? I mean 31 now. That's the America people send your school to. American education, isn't it? American education, isn't it? American education. I think Britain ranks number 21. So that's the British boarding school education where you speak Queen's English, isn't it? It ranks number what? Let me tell you countries that rank 1 to 4. Singapore, Taiwan, Macau, Finland. Hey, I'm sure someone say, oh, what do you know? What do these countries do? These countries open room for innovation in their system. But you know, the exciting thing is that other countries that are very intentional about their education system have started doing it. A little country called Estonia started doing it. Estonia is number 6 or 7 on the PISA rating. Estonia has invested tremendously in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths, because where they want their countries to go. And because of that, they're making so much money now. There's a little game we all play. It's called the Angry Birds. It's made by a small company in Estonia called Roxio. What Angry Birds make for the economy of Estonia, oil doesn't make it for Nigerian economy. Should I say that again? What Angry Bird makes for the economy of Estonia, oil doesn't make it for that Nigerian economy, at least in 1 quarter or 2 quarters. You think I'm lying? There's innovation in learning. Ask Google now, Roxio. What's the worth of the company called Roxio? Google Roxio now, please. Somebody help me out. Have you seen it? What's the worth of Roxio as a company? 10 billion. Billion. Billion dollars. Million dollars. $10 million. Okay, Chris, let's calculate what are crude oil entries for a month in Nigeria. Let's calculate it. What we make in crude oil in a month in Nigeria. What we made in crude oil in a month. When you say crude oil entries into Nigeria. And that's to show you the power of education and innovation. Let's calculate it. Or put in what Angry Birds made. Yeah, because that 10 million was suspect. 2.25 billion. That's the real what. It's not 10 million. Yeah, that's Angry Bird. Yeah, it's made by Rojo. So ask, is Nigeria making 2.25 billion from crude oil? $2.25 billion. And because when you said 10 million, I said that thing was suspect. Imagine me. Don't mislead me. I know Roger was more, Angry Bird was more than that. So Angry Bird is 2.25 billion, isn't it? Good. Angry Bird is what? Was 2.25 what? Please put your hands together for this man. 2.25 billion. What is Nigeria's budget? What is Nigeria's budget in a year? 9 trillion, right? 9 trillion, isn't it? Good. 2.25 billion times 360. It might not be up to it because Nigeria's budget is about $15 billion. But that's to show you what one company can do. 8.1 billion. 8.1 billion. That was our budget for last year. Isn't it? 8.1 billion because now it's about 9 billion. 2.25 billion times 360. No, 2.25 billion times 360. It has to go into trillions in Nigeria. 8.1 trillion in Nigerian money, right? So what one company, Angry Birds, made from education and from a developmental stride of education is what our national budget. And that's just one company out of where? Out of where? Out of Estonia. You must constantly be open to training. You must constantly be open to renewal of your mind. You must see that pupil you teach as a partner. So when that small boy, Kasali said, don't tell him Benue song. See him as a partner and encourage him. Because teaching is a symbiotic process. It's like the proverbial Yoruba word, so that's what teaching is all about. It has to be beneficial for both. Innovation will be having a look at our curriculum, having a national conversation. At this day and age, is it 6334 we need? Should we still have Nigerians stay 4 years in university with a high unemployment rate, or have a crash course 2 years in university and they can go into the labor market? Are there many things they're teaching us in our curriculum now that is useless? Are you angry? Are you angry? Say, I am angry. So wait a minute, please. Wait a minute, please. You're angry, isn't it? But wait, just wait. Can you hear me out? Can you hear me out? Can you hear me out? Sister, I can see you. So the best you can do now is write a petition. We've got over 2,000 people here, right? If everybody here can write a petition to their lawmaker on the fact that education curriculum needs to change, we can get a critical mass. So that's how to change things. Me, I've learned not to get angry. So a lot of people say, Rufai, you don't talk, you don't do. I say, me? I know what I'm doing. So I mobilize. I have single-handedly sponsored 3 bills. One has gotten passed in Lagos. I know how to write bills. I'll just call my legal friend. Let's write this bill. So what we'll do here is, sir, we talked about this. Let's get rapporteurs around and write what we call the education curriculum bill and start to push it. That, for me, that's impact, though. Can get angry. I'm angry.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. You can hear what Rufai Oseni said in this very video. He was invited to speak in that place and he was sharing all those people up. All those people listening to him, they were very happy listening to Rufai Oseni. He was discussing something based on education. He said Nigeria must value education, that Nigeria government must invest so much in education. And that is where the problem comes from now. They begin to attack Rufai Oseni. They say, why is he going to say that? Is it that Nigeria government is not prioritizing education? They said Tinubu allocated some money for education, over 10 billion naira for education of Nigeria on the budget that was released some time ago and all of that. Yes, they said Tinubu released the money. That why is it that Rufai is now saying nonsense that Tinubu government did not prioritize education and all of that? But the question here is, can we actually compare the money that Tinubu spent on the cars of senators, the SUV cars for senators, and the money he allocated for the convoy of his wife and all of that? Can we actually compare that money to what Tinubu allocated for education sector of Nigeria? No, that's just that education is not being prioritized. But what Rufai Oseni is saying in that very video is very clean. Now, looking at what Tinubu allocated, they allocated loan for students and all of that, and they allocated some money for the education of Nigeria. It's very beautiful. Now, looking at it vividly, they borrowed over 7.something trillion naira this year. Tinubu borrowed that money, but how much of the money is allocated to education of Nigerians? How much of all this money is allocated to the education of the citizens of Nigeria? The answer is capital no. Few of the money, like it is just a little proportion of the money that is allocated. But according to what Rufai Oseni is saying, in no country that is just existing, he opened their eyes to how those countries invest in their education sector, and they are actually making more than what Nigeria is making in crude oil in a day. These people are actually making a lot of money. Just a single company in that country is making a lot of money that is more than the revenue that Nigeria is saying from the so-called petroleum that we so much prioritize and want to die on. He said Nigeria must take away their attention from all these mineral resources, that it is right time that we renovate our educational sector. It is right time that we invest on education in Nigeria. That is when we reap the dividends of education. We'll be seeing billions of dollars from education. That was what Rufai Oseni is saying that is causing the trouble now. So I don't know the reason why they want Rufai Oseni to resign based on this thing that they said. They say it's just not an attack on the government of Tinubu, but I don't think this is an attack. This is just an expression of opinion, and this is an orientation to new Nigerians and to old Nigerians that education is very, very pivotal. Now, imagine that Nigerian government invests so well in education. Do you think all those talks that were hijacking ballot buses in different polling units in course of the election, all those talks that were coming found out that if you are not voting for APC, go back to your houses and all of that. Do you think all those talks will be out there? If truly there's good educational sector in Nigeria, do you think people will be willing to dedicate their life for thuggery and all of that? The answer is capital no. There will be no nuisance in the society. Everybody will find something doing and all of that, even though everybody cannot be rich and all of that. But some people will not be doing these rascalities that they're doing up and down in different places in Nigeria. Even the so-called criminality will reduce. The so-called Boko Haram and ISWAP and all of that, everything will reduce. Education is the thing of the mind. When there's education, it renovates the mind of the people and it points the attention of people to how they can live a better life, and everybody will be striving for having a better life more than every other person. So that is what Rufai Oseni is saying in this video. So I don't see the reason why they are attacking Rufai Oseni, and some people are even coming to different social media platforms. They are saying that what Rufai Oseni is saying is just an attack to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that they swear for Rufai Oseni to be attacking the government of Tinubu. The answer is capital no. If Tinubu is really doing well, Rufai will be the first person to come out to appraise him. You won't tell me that it's all the time that Rufai Oseni is actually attacking Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The answer is no. There are some things that Tinubu do that Rufai will appraise. Rufai is just dragging him to point his attention on educational sector of Nigeria, that education is very, very pivotal. It's so essential that we cannot and we should never underestimate as far as Nigeria is concerned. You will see a primary school where children are sitting on floor. In this generation, 21st century, where on earth is this happening even for Nigeria? Children will be sitting in class and there will be water leakage, like there will be roof leakage in the class, and even when rain is falling, the rain will be falling on the kids, and the kids are not even having chairs to sit down to receive some knowledgeable things into their brain in the course of teaching and all of that. You will see high institutions where there are low facilities but they are paying a high amount of money. Like the school I attended, there are low facilities, low academic facility, low social amenities facility, and we are paying a huge amount as tuition fee and all of that. So all this money, where is it really going to? So it is right time that Nigeria invest in education just to renovate this country, because if truly we prioritize education, people will not be graduating and they will be jobless. If truly Nigeria prioritize education, if truly they can invest in education, people will not be finishing from school 5 years, 10 years without seeing a job. Nigeria will not be like this. There will be a massive renovation as far as this country is concerned, because what people actually learn in schools and all of that, there are different fields of study, they will execute it, they will not it. It is quite unfortunate that Nigerians will go to outside the country and they will be using their intellectual skills in the country that is not even their fatherland, and all of that will be enjoying their intellectual abilities and all of that. So if Nigeria can truly invest in education, they will reap the dividends. No country will come and reap the dividends for them. So I would like guys to drop a opinion in the comment section of this video. What do you guys think? Do you really think what Rufai Oseni said is very bad? Do a lot of politicians in Nigeria that will be looking for how Rufai Oseni will be kicked out of Arise News, that will be looking for how Rufai Oseni will be kicked out of journalism. They don't want this guy to be saying the truth the way it is, because it's actually affecting them. We have seen the issue of governors attacking him in different places and different television. He will be granting interviews to some people, they will just be attacking him, they will just take it as quarrel. E.g. Fayose of Ekiti State, the former governor of Ekiti State, you can see the way he battled with Rufai on live television program in Arise News a few months ago. And we can see some government officials that are just attacking this guy just because of the questions, the intellectual questions that he's asking. So a lot of people actually hate him in the political sector. So drop up in the comment section of this video. What do you think? Do you really think what he said regarding education is a scam or what? Drop up in us. I'm gonna get on that to for you. Ensure you follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG Watch TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, and on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video. Bye.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor where the line on top, be pastor. For LAJUPOG Watch TV. Pastor where the bar, where politician where they do pass me self. Corrupt leader, all the while you waiting for church. All as LAJUPOG Watch TV.